Hello, this is Sebastian Griffin, Tay Kian Guan. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about my personal life. Now, the personal life that is not so personal, in a sense that what happened to me could be a generic of how communists or those theocratic way of doing things work. Now, theocratic means a political system that is based on religion, not necessarily Islam. Now, when it comes to theocratic, normally people will point to Islam because most of the countries, such as Saudi Arab and those in the Middle East, they are theocratic country where they're based in Islam to run the country. But it is not only Islam in the world. There is also other religion that affect country as well as individual life. Now, for my case, I believe I'm being affected by a communist way of living, a communist way of detecting individual in a family setting. Now, to me, I never grow up with my parents. I do not know. Even until right now, I do not know my parents' full name. I only know my mother is Esther Lim, and my father I have totally no idea. Probably from the Tan family, T-A-N, Tan. Now, as to Tan, what I have no idea. Tan is a Hokkien word. But in Chinese, no, if you go to China, if you go to PRC or you go to ROC, both China, whether it's People's Republic of China, which is the mainland China, or the Taiwan, they call themselves a Republic of China. Both these China country, they speak Mandarin. Mandarin, the surname is Chen, C-H-E-N, Chen, but Hokkien is Tan, dialect is Tan. So my father is from the Tan family, but I do not take their Tan surname as far as I can remember. My name that register under this Malaysia, under this national register is T-A-Y, Tay Kian Guan. So that is my name. Now today I talk a little bit about communism, how communism affect my life. What happened to me is that I believe the reason why I did not get dividend from Genting or the group of company belong to Genting or Kian Huat is probably they are implementing a communism system. I really do not know. Probably it's a communist or what, I do not know. It could be. Now I have no idea whether Genting is pro-communist or what. Probably pro-communist or not pro-democratic or what, I do not know. But it seems to me, it appeared to me that they are not able to conduct the company in the corporate fashions. In terms of corporate governance, it's not there. They do not how to conduct the business. I'm not sure how good they are in terms of marketing, in terms of sales, in terms of project management for real estate project. I do not know. But from what I can see, how they conduct business in terms of managing shareholders and all that is very poor. And even when it comes to accounting, there are so many evidence that yesterday I spoke about their salary. Now the salary also affect equity. These are dividend payment, because dividend is after all the tax, all the costs deducted from the cost. You take a revenue from the sales, and then you deduct the cost, deduct salary payment, and then after whatever you retain, whatever the company retain will be subject to corporate tax. Then only come to the dividend payment. So it could be the reason why he wanted so much salary for himself is to reduce, probably is to reduce the corporate tax as well, subsequently for the dividend payment. Because when you when the cost of doing business is high, they left a little bit for corporate tax. But corporate tax actually lesser. The tax for corporate, the rate is much lesser than a personal income tax. So that's why I do not know what is the reason for him to pay himself so much. The reason behind could be he want to reduce the dividend payment, but so far I have not received any dividend payment from him. So that is a huge problem, how he conduct the business. There is a huge questions. And also another reason, it could be that this company or this conglomerate and maybe some other company involving my father's side of the family, which is the Tan family, they are running in a communist fashion. That could be the reason they are running in a communist fashion, and where the head of the company or the head of the house will control how much to give to the rest of the member. So it does not honor what my grandparents, what my grandfather, my grandmother inherited in the will. It does not adhere to anymore. It does not adhere to what the inheritance say anymore. So that is one thing lah. So that would be more like how a communist run a country. A communist run a country where the leaders will detect. The leaders, an autocratic regime, autocratic family or autocratic country, it will detect the family member or the member of that society to do whatever they want without any freedom. Now, today I'm not talking about the corporate things. It appears very clear to me that they might not able to conduct the business as usual, as how a corporate entity run in a democratic society. It appears to me like they are running either in an autocratic or their own anarchy way of anarchy means everybody do as they like without the rules of law, which what happening in Malaysia right now. There are many policies, whether at the national level or at the company level, they are not adhering to the constitution and also the law. Now today I do not want to talk about corporate. I want to talk about my personal life. Now there are many girls claim to be my wife, but which I have not know them yet. So far I only know my children's, probably my children's. I have not yet conduct DNA test. Tei Yu Tong. Now Tei Yu Tong, I call him Little Precious. In Chinese we call 小宝贝. And then there are two boys. One boy actually is from Carol Tok. Carol Tok actually a daughter of Dato Tok Min Kin. Is a Malaysian. And then another, I call him Orion. Just a name Orion. I do not know his real name because since he's small, I took care of him, but I do not know his name, his real name that registered under the government. And he is a Singaporean. He's not a Malaysian. Now whether Singapore or Malaysia, I do not think I will want to domicile. I want to stay in these two countries. I have a lot of bad experience in these two countries. I do not want to have anything to do with Malaysia. Economically, I do not want to contribute to the economy, but I'm not stopping anyone to contribute. If you want to contribute, it's up to you. It's just my personal choice that I do not want to participate in the Malaysia economy. That is my personal choice. I'm not stopping anyone to participate, so I need to make myself very clear on this. Now the problem I experience is that the most probably or most likely scenario is that a person called Teh Ka Seng. Now Teh Ka Seng has been pretending to be my father, but he is not my biological father, and even a foster father also not, because I rarely see him, very rare. Since small until I grown up, very rare, sometimes once a year, and sometimes even not even once a year. So I barely know this person called Teh Ka Seng. But probably there are some some financial interests, and that's why he took my sperm and fertilized his daughter, either his daughter or somebody related to him, and conceived a baby I call him little ancestor, Chinese call 小祖宗. Because when he was small, he put under Ng care, and when I visit Ng I took care of them. So that is how probably their tricks in order to let me have a bonding, have a bonding with the baby, but without even know who is their mother. Until right now, I do not know who is Orion's mother, but I know he probably from Singapore. He cannot stay in Malaysia for too long. He is probably from Singapore. He also called me before, and he speak a Singaporean accent. And when I talked to him, he confirmed to me that he's staying in Singapore, so he probably a Singaporean. So there are two boys. One from probably is related to Tay Kah Seng, probably Tay Kah Seng grandson. But I neither have a good relationship with Tay Kah Seng nor this Orion's mother. I don't even know who is Orion's mother. So this is one. The second child, I call him Lucius. This is the name I gave to him, but I do not know his name registered under the National Department or the JPN. In Malaysia, they call JPN. Now this guy, another boy, is from Dato' Tok Min Kin daughters, or called Carol Tok. I do not know what is the Chinese name. Tok what I do not know, but it's Carol. The name is called Carol Tok. I do not know how she got my baby. I have no idea. How I know her is that actually I somehow added her brother called Christopher Tok. Added Christopher Tok, and then within Christopher Tok, that is his father called Tok Min Kin, and then also Carol Tok. So I added Carol Tok. Initially I just added him, added her, added her brother Christopher Tok, and then this Carol Tok. But I have never met her before. I tried to establish contact. I tried to actually initially I invite her out for lunch. I think that was in KLCC some years ago, but she did not come. I waited there for quite some time, I think 2 hours plus, and then I'm wandering around KLCC. There is no sight about her. I cannot see her, so I left. And then thereafter I did not receive anything other than a call. I think a call from her. She told me she studied in Bandaraya, something like that. Sekolah Bandaraya, whatever. Sekolah Menengah Bandaraya, something like that, from CJ or what. Then after that, no more news. No more news from her. And of course, when I took care of Orion, I also took care of Lucius. Lucius is just a name I gave to him. I do not know his real name. So I took care of him under Ng Bien Kiat. So this could probably related to Ng Bien Kiat. Now Ng Bien Kiat, Tay Kian Boon, they could belong to a communist where they kidnap children, or they somehow got this baby from their mother. But I have no idea about them. I have no idea about whether they are related to me or not. But they told me I am their father. So the question is that how on earth I have never met these two girls and they conceived with my babies? This is a huge question. Now as to and then there's another elder girls called Marion. The name is called Tay Yu Tong. Marion or Tay Yu Tong probably a name registered under JPN. Marion's mother also I have no idea. Totally no idea who is Marion's mother. But Marion's mother could probably related to Goh Wen Kiong. Ricky Goh Wen Kiong, probably a cousin or what related to. I know Goh Wen Kiong very well. I know Goh Wen Kiong from same school, Sims Form 1. That is 20 over years ago. Goh Wen Kiong is used to be my best friend, Goh Wen Kiong. But I do not know about whether this Marion's or Tay Yu Tong's mother is related to Goh Wen Kiong or not, or whether this Marion's mother or Atun, Tay Yu Tong mother's, who is she? I have no idea. Totally no idea. I saw I think I saw her a few times at a distance, and she did not approach me. We cannot even sit down face to face. How I know her is that she actually I think the first time I saw her, it was in Penang 2 years ago. She was with Atun, she was with Tay Yuton, my daughter, and my daughter because my daughter still short. I think she's now 7 or 8 years old, and she point to her mother and say that is my mother. So that's how I know her mother. Otherwise, I do not know who is Tay Yutong's mother. That is the first time, and then I think the second or the third time is in KL Central. Also, because because Tay Yutong, I know her mother. I can barely remember her mother because it was a distance away, probably even 100 meters away. But I can see Atun because I know Atun very well. So that is the scenario I have right now. I do not know their mother, but somehow they got my they got my baby. So that is the problem. Now, as to what is the reason for this to exist, it could be probably due to inheritance, probably due to the money inherited to me by my grandfather and grandmother. From my mother's side is Tan Sri Lim Gok Tong and also Lee Kim Hua. Lee Kim Hua is my grandmother, and of course this Lim Gok Tong is my grandfather. So as to how much, I do not know whether they come to me or they wanted to have a relationship with me purely for the inheritance or for myself. To say this is a genuine romantic relationship, I do not think so, because I do not even date with them before. There was no courtship, there was no dating throughout this period. Only there is one time when I was in Penang, I was being knocked down. I believe it's knocked down by Dato Min Kin. She took a stick or some sort of like a baseball stick to hit me until I'm unconscious. And then when I'm in a semi-conscious state, I found myself with my little ancestor, somebody that I'm very familiar with, my little ancestor. And I thought, because when I was with in this Ng Ben Kiat house, I used to take care of Tay Yutong. I used to take care of Tay He Xian. Tay He Xian is my sister daughter. My sister daughter Tay He Xian now I think is in the secondary school. Probably from 4, from 5, I do not know, in the secondary school. So that is Tay He Xian. So I thought Tay He Xian was there, and Tay He Xian, when she was small, I slept with her. She always slept on my body. In fact, all these babies, they always slept on my body. When they're tired, they come to me, they hug me, I cuddle them, and then they sleep on my body. So that is a norm. Now, what happened was that probably that was last year in Penang. Last year or early this year. Probably that was not Tay He Xian. Probably that was Carol Tok. Probably her father knocked me down, and then she came and slept with me together with my son, little ancestor, in order to fabricate evidence. I do not know. Probably that she took pictures or what, I don't know. Because in the norm, if you sleep, you don't take pictures. You don't take pictures when you sleep together unless it is a premeditated move where they want to purposely make it a scene so that they can take picture and fabricate evidence to protect themselves or what, I do not know. Now to me, actually, I wanted, if there is a case, I categorize this into 2 sections. The one section is that those girls that I know and those girls that probably I wanted to have relationship with. And another category is that those girls that I do not even know, I have no idea at all, but they already have my children. So the first category, I will say the only three girls in this first category. The first is Yuriko. Yuriko is a girl I met in Singapore. She is a Japanese girl, Yuriko. I met her in a cozy corner somewhere near Bugis Junction. Opposite Bugis Junction, there was a hostel called Cozy Corner. I know her there. We were there, I think, for half year, 6 months. So I actually lived with her for 6 months. I know her quite well. She is the most potential wife, my most potential spouse. But there were also complications because I saw her with another Japanese guy called Sada. So this Sada, I do not know what is the relationship between Sada and Yuriko. So that need to be ascertained. That need to be find out first to be determined in order to further the relationship. And that was 2008. So it's 17 years ago, a long time ago. But she recently also appeared. So I do not know what is the problem. Because I tried to find her up and down, but she refused to meet me back then. And then the second girl, my girlfriend, that is a real girlfriend that was introduced to me by my lady boss. I used to work in Singapore, and my boss introduced a girl to me called Yu Jingping. Yu Jingping was I dated her for a month, and then we broke up. We did not make it. The most is that I hold hand with her before. Never kiss, never have sex, just hold hand, and then we went for food. That's all. So Yu Jingping, but at least the minimum here, the point here is at least we hold hand because we know each other. I know where she stay in Johor. Her hometown is actually in Johor. So at least I know these two person. And the third person is Carol Talk. Now Carol Talk, I do not think I met her like we really intended to meet up. The kind of met. Probably she came to me without even me knowing. But anyhow, I know Carol Talk. I know her. She got two sisters, one elder, one younger, and also one brother. And also her father and mother. Her mother I do not know, but her father is Tok Min Kin. That is what I know. Other than that, I have no idea. So within this category one, the one I know the most is Yuriko. And then the second is Yu Jingping. But Yu Jingping already married and have children. So definitely it is impossible to be with her anymore. About Yuriko, I have no idea. Probably she have not married, and then probably I will need to find out. And then the third is Carol Talk. Now Carol Talk, if she indeed have my children, she indeed this little ancestor or Lucius, I call him Lucius. Indeed, if Lucius is my son, then I will try to have try to date with her before. I try to date with her. So in order to create a history, to create a romantic relationship, because I cannot marry someone without knowing her, without having romantic relationship. Otherwise, that is purely based on material gains, purely based on financial gain, which I believe she also actually came from a middle class family. Middle class in the sense that her family is doing well, not bad. I actually looked through her father profile, business profile. Also a businessman, not very big, but also businessman, doing well. So I do not know. I really do not know. whether to have relationship with Carol Talk or not. Uh, as of now, I have no idea. But she told me that she have her own. I think she have her own preferred choice, which is called Brian Tan. So there's another Tan called Brian Tan. I think she met in UK. I think she studied in UK and she have a lot of friend in UK. Probably Brian Tan is the one that she's going after. Now, from the point of view of human right, I will not stop anyone from having relationship with their preferred choice. If Carrot Top preferred choice is Brian Tan, then so be it. Go for Brian Tan. It is not in Chinese we call 戴绿帽. 戴绿帽 means having your spouse having extra affair. Now I'm not that because first of all I do not consider her as my spouse. So the question of 戴绿帽 or the question of her having extra affair or not is still a question, because if she did not genuinely have any romantic relationship with me, and probably somebody from my mother's side or from my father's side took my sperm and put it into her womb to conceive little ancestor, then this between me and her there is no romantic relationship. I do not consider her as my spouse. I do not consider her as my girlfriend. I do not even know her. To me, she is still a stranger. So in that sense, in that scenario, I do not think that is a 戴绿帽, that is an extra affair. She could probably pursue her life, her romantic, the life that she wants. And Brian could be somebody that also in love with her. Now, from the point of view of human right, I do not think I have any right to stop anyone from pursuing their dreams, including myself. If I fall in love with a girl that I love, example Yuriko, I believe nobody should impede us despite she is a Japanese. Now, there is a history between Japanese and Chinese which is not very amicable. In fact, the two political factions, international factions, are very formidable. There are history of war and all that, massacre and so on and so forth. But that was history, that was past. I do not have any grievances against Japan. I went to Japan before. I love Japan. The culture is very nice. Probably also there are some interculture, there are some interactions during the Tang Dynasty, where Japan have a lot of Chinese culture in them, when I was there, I felt very comfortable, very enjoying. So I definitely do not have any grievances with the Japanese. I actually quite like the Japanese, so there's no problem. As for Carol Talk, I actually trying to understand what is the scenario. What is the scenario with me? Whether she is willing to try with me, or she think I'm a fat, ugly, useless, poor, and nonsense man, or what, I do not know. Now, if she do not have any romantic relationship or any feeling with me, then I cannot force her. That is, if I force her, then it will consider rape or consider something that is violate, something that infringe her human right, which I do not want to. So that category is the girls that I know. From the girls that I know very well to a girls that I know medium, and a girls that I know but I do not know so much. So Yuriko, Yu Jinping, and Carol Talk. And there is another category of girls that I totally have no idea, do not even know their name yet. So the category that I do not even know them, but they already have my children. These are my little ancestor mother from Singapore side, and probably related to Teka Singh. So that is one girls that I do not know her name, that she got my baby boy, and also probably related to Teka Seng. That is one. The second girl is Marion's or Teh Yu Tong mother. Teh Yu Tong mother, and probably the surname is Ang, because there's one guy called Dato Ang. Dato Ang, what I do not know. This Dato Ang, she approached me in Metro Hotel. So this Teh Yu Tong probably is Dato Ang granddaughter. Now whether how she related to me, I do not know. So the story is I got category 1 and category 2. Category 2, the first girl that have my son, which probably a Singaporean related to Teka Seng. I do not know her. The second girl I do not know is Teh Yu Tong's mother. Probably is Dato Ang daughter. Also, I have no idea at all. Never date with her, only saw her a few times at a distance away. Now for this Singaporean, these are Orion's or Teka Seng's, probably Teka Seng daughter or what, I do not know. I never see her before in my life. So that is the scenario I have right now. The scenario I have right now, my uncle refused to give dividend and refused to communicate. In fact, refused to communicate, and I do not think they are competent to run the company. Do not even competent to run an SME. Do not talk about a conglomerate as big as Genting. To me how the way she conduct business, I do not think she fit. I do not think he fit to run. About his son, I have no idea. Lim Kyong Hui, Lim Kyong Han, Lim Kyong Lui, totally no idea. And there was once I actually met with some Arabian, and this Arabian in a hotel called SCC Hotel. I met this Arabian, and the Arabian told me that the dividend or the money that I supposed to get was actually being taken partly by the daughter of Lim Gok Tai, and also my mother Esther Lim, and also Teh Kian Bun. So I do not know. I never delegate any one of them to hold my money. Never. No delegation, no proxy or whatever. So what they are doing literally is looting. And this happened in Malaysia. I do not know what. I am not sure whether Malaysia is competent enough to manage all this or not. Because when they face rich people, super wealthy people, they might succumb to bribery, corruptions. I really do not know whether they have the integrity to uphold the law, the constitution or not. That I do not know. So this is what I have to say, and what I experience, that infringe of human right they are experienced, and probably, and also not probably, but a communism way of managing a company and a family household, that it affecting me. So I really do not know how on earth this family and these children's, where I do not know their mother, and suddenly they are my children, came about, invested me more than 20 over years without any news. Only recently, only 2022 they started to surface. My mother Esther Lim started to come to me and all that. Before that, it was quiet. It was as if nothing. But even until right now, there are so many people following me from Genting side, from my father's side, but they are unable to talk, as if they are mute, as if they are dumb and mute, Yapa. In Chinese, we call them Yapa. They only spy on me, but they are not helping me in any way. Zero financial help. And in fact, if I got my money, I know how to do business, and I'm not interested to mix with any of my family members. I got my money, I will do my own business. I do not want to mix with any of them. The first I need to get is my dividend. The long overdue dividend, when I get it, and then I will start to assess whichever asset I have. I will start to sell it off one by one. Sell it off one by one, and then the proceed of which, the money that I from the selling of my asset, I will use it to open my business, to do my business. And I do not intend to have any partnership or anything mixed with them. I do not want to have any joint venture or partnership with any of the Lim, whether the Lim family or the Tan family. I will have my own company, my own enterprise by myself, whether it's a sole proprietor or later could probably open a private limited or something like that. So that is me, and I hope, and I'm actually embracing democracy. I wanted to move to a country that where democracy and rules of law are actually implementing, are enforced, are really enforced, not so lax like Malaysia. Now Malaysia is not the worst country. There are countries worse than Malaysia, but I prefer some country that have 4-season climate that is comfortable for me. I do not discount the possibility of come back to Malaysia for business in future, and I hope Malaysia can abolish NEP. And when Malaysia abolish NEP, I think the financial, whether in terms of economy, whether in terms of social harmony or whatever, will be much greater, much better, even for the Malay or for the country as a whole. Because without NEP, I believe the Chinese community, the Indian community, and the Orang Asal, the minority, will come together with the Malay, and will help each other, will genuinely help each other to grow to grow the economy in Malaysia, and also to bring Malaysia to a greater height, to genuinely be a Malaysian. That's what I want to say. But right now, I do not think so. Right now, there are still racism. There are still racism between Malay and the non-Malay. They are still fighting, but fighting at the back. Of course, on a superficial level, they are still pretending to be friends, but they are not really a friend. That's what I can see, which is not good. In a country like America, where there is a multiracial society, they treat everybody the same. No doubt they do have racism in the society, but the law protect the minorities. The law protect peoples and refrain people from any prejudices or racism to the extreme. So that is what I want to say for today. Thank you very much.